What's happening, YouTube? Jackson here. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Thursday, the 26th of June. So I've got a 15 skill set. As always, I'll have timestamps in the description if you just want to skip to one of these, if you just don't want to listen to the other stuff. So this set here, I think these two here are definitely better than these two here, at least as far as speed and reliability goes. But, I mean, these aren't too terrible, really, in the grand scheme of things. So, I'll start with picking locks, but yeah, you can just kind of do any of these in any particular order. There's not like, you can't find a bunch of plant creatures in the same place you can find a woodworking station, though that's kind of ironic. But yeah, I'll just start with picking locks. So my usual way to go with this is to come to Skyreach here. Fucking Skyreach, I call it that every time. Skywatch. So Skywatch has a house you can access via home tours. It's over here. So Barbed Hook Private Inn Room. If you look this up on Home Tours, this is assuming like if people haven't been here yet and they don't have the Wayshrine, you can look up in B the Barbed Hook Private Room here. And what you can do, you can bring it up here and just travel to it, go outside, and it will take you here. So it just saves you having to go all the way just to get the Wayshrine. It just saves you a bunch of time. So these three houses here, these are important because they all have simple locks that they're always locked no matter what. So whenever you come here, these three doors will always be available to you and always be reliably locked. So it's just really good. Now the only thing that will stop you is these guards. Sometimes they'll come towards the door. So what you want to do is, whenever you do these, the hidden icon just below the lockpicking UI, you just want to make sure that if that opens up, you immediately stop and just check if a guard is on their way. Because if they spot you and give you a bounty, it's a pain in the ass dealing with that. Because they patrol these areas a lot, and it just means you have to try and avoid them. Just give me one sec, my cat's in the way of the screen. Oh, she's moving everything. Alright, so when the guards are faced away like that, so they'll walk up and then they'll turn around and just look out here. As soon as they turn around, you are good to go to keep unlocking the house, because they never turn around again until they actually walk away and then come back. So that just that initial walk up, that's the only bit you need to be worried about. Everything else is pretty good. But yeah, avoid a bounty if you can, because it just makes this so much more annoying. Now this third door here is great, because there's no guards that actually come up here. You do want to still be stealth though, because there's a couple of people that are close by, and they will give you bounty if you do try that, I think. I haven't tried it too much. But yeah, as I said, just not a good idea getting yourself a bounty. It is. So crafting with woodworking, you can also do this just fine in Skyreach. Skywatch. The minimum amount of items that you need in order to complete this is just going to be 12 standard maple and 4 star materials. So these base star materials, the ones for all the races, if you find a carpenter, for example this one, these people sell you all the racial star motifs an infinite amount for 15 gold each. So my advice to you is go to a guild store, buy a bunch of maple for really cheap, and to make Skywatch also great is there's a bunch of guild vendors just out the front that you can use. There's 5, so this is Oridon's major guild vendor area. So if you just come outside, there's 5 here. So you've got the 4 around here, and then you've also got 1 here. Just check these inventories, go to materials, woodworking, and material, and yeah, standard maple here, 4 gold a piece, that's great. So spending $1,000 on this, and that will last you probably like 15 times this endeavor, depending on how many. I don't know what the maximum is for how many of these you have to craft. I think 4 or 6 is like the most I've seen. Deconstruct is usually worse, but yeah, deconstruct is easier. So check all those for spending a little bit of gold, and that's all you need to do. My advice, like, it is a little bit of gold to spend, but believe me, that 1,000 gold to be able to do these, like, just as soon as you log in, basically, is really, really worth it for time. Because just being able to do that is just, like, way faster than these other options can be here. Just go bows or staves. Don't make shields because they cost twice as much. And yeah, just go your item and then just craft however many you need. So in this case, yeah. And then if you just want to increase the efficiency of just buying those items on guild stores, just deconstruct what you made and you'll get a couple of the items back. Not always. It's heavily impacted by your crafting capabilities for woodworking. So if you've got wood extraction, it's better. But yeah, it's not a big deal. Maple is pretty damn cheap. Something also worth noting in regards to getting your hands on some maple. There is a way to do this without requiring you to go to a guild store and buy some. Star materials, not as easy, I'm afraid, but star materials are super duper cheap. Like, just spending 60 gold is all you need. But in terms of getting yourself some maple in another way, what I suggest you do, please, I highly suggest everybody get a Nightblade, or at least get a Shadow Skill Line subclass on someone, because this skill right here will make this a fucking cakewalk most of the time. It'll make a lot of things in Endeavors a cakewalk. So what you want to do is have this on your bar, cast it, and then you can just start picking up stuff from the ground here. So if possible, do this on a character that's like below level 10 to 15-ish, and just keep them at that level with Shadow leveled up to be able to get Cloak. And that way when you come here, you do this, and now you come over to the crafting station. Now, it's not a guaranteed source of this stuff, but if I go ahead and deconstruct this, as you'll see here, I got some sanded nightwood. So if your character's like level 10-ish, they will get maple stuff instead of nightwood. That's why I say you need a low-level character. But it's convenient, because creating a character from scratch, they start at level 3, so it's perfect. So what you can do, you can just go pick up some of those items, deconstruct them, get maple that way. It is a little bit slower, but it's like super duper easy. There's like no skill required in it, so you can do that too. Now, star materials, you can also you can get these from backpacks. So just as an example, I could look into this, and sometimes there'll be star materials in these things. That's also something to consider. But my advice, just buy star materials. They're not expensive. Okay, next up, let's discuss plant creatures. So this big boy lurcher right here is an example of a plant creature. So this area here has a bunch of lurchers that you can kill. This is an easy to reach initial location that you can consider, but it's overland, so other people coming here and killing these things might make it a pain in the ass for you, because you have to wait for shit to spawn. So if you want to get access to this way shrine here, everybody's got access to this as soon as they create a character. Just come down here through the road, come out here, a little bit to the east, a little bit to the north, and you'll have access to this area here, Vale of the Guardians. This area is full of lurchers. You can try that. There's a couple of other places. Grotwood just is full of stranglers all over the place, but they're just a little bit spread out. And just in random areas. Roots on the Ruins is also another good option, because this has got stranglers in it too, and spriggans. Another good option is in Oridon. If you go to Tuismal Gully, the group event here, hold on, I'll get the map up for it. Okay, so when you get in, you start here, you just go straight south, and then Bloodroot over here is what you're looking for. So kill that dude. So it's not Bloodroot you really need to kill. There's sets of Spriggans around it that you have to kill for it to be able to spawn. And those Spriggans count as plant creatures. So yeah, that's a really easy way to get it. Now, I will show you my preferred method for this, which is an instance area. And people know how I feel about instance stuff. It's like my fucking religion. When you're not in a group, nobody else can actually come in here and interact with the stuff in your version of this dungeon. So it means that no matter what's going on the outside, no matter how busy Overland is, no matter how busy this dungeon may be for other people, provided that you're not in a group, I mean, if you are, you'll get a bunch of people that... That's not important. But yeah, your version of this place, these enemies will be spawned, ready for you to kill. So it just means that you're conveniently not wasting time. You can just jump into here whenever you're ready. You just find these enemies close by, and that's it. Also, another good thing about dungeons is when you travel into these via a way shrine, when you leave, it will take you back to that way shrine. So it's doubly good, because as soon as you leave, you're back to an area where you can travel to another area that you want to go to, so that you're not wasting time exiting the place and just like trying to find a way shrine. Sometimes they're easy to get to, but sometimes it can be a pain in the ass. Like for example, in Toothmore Gully, if you do that group event, you either have to run out of the dungeon or use a house to get away. And that might not always be convenient. Now, this is City of Ash 2. This is my preferred location, and City of Ash 2 is this instance area that I talked about. So getting access to this, I think you have to be like mid-30s or mid-20s to be able to get access to this dungeon. Pretty sure it's one of the later ones in the leveling side. But I think even at low level you can come in here. So these stranglers here, when you go down the river on this side, just jump down, just make sure you land in the water, otherwise you'll take a lot of damage. Now these things are very tanky, and they do a little bit of damage, but they're just mostly just beefy. They just take a little while to kill. But there's like only 1 or 2 at a time. It's sort of not like you don't got to deal with a lot at once. So I'll just pull these guys. 1, 2. When you come over here, there's another one right here. And then you come over this way. Just ignore the crocodiles over there. They're not plants, so they don't count. So these 2 stranglers here. Now, if you don't want to pull the crocodile on the left there, if you attack this one first, it actually pulls the crocodile to you as well, which is kind of weird. Yeah, just a interesting interaction with the aggression system, I think. So, or maybe grouping or something along those lines. So yeah, just kill these guys, and that'll be 5 plant creatures. Now, it's even better because in events where you have to kill 10, which does happen, there are actually 5 more up this way here. So you've got enough for 10 in this dungeon. So it's just really convenient for you because you just come in here, kill your 5 in this area, or kill your extra 5 over there for 10, and then you just leave. You're all good to go. Okay, so next up, we've got Archival Fortunes in the Infinite Archive. This takes quite some work to actually get. It's 200 Archival Fortunes per boss at a cycle, and each one of those takes like 5 to 10 minutes to get to. So this will take some time. You could get lucky, and you could get the Pilferer scamps that show up in boss rounds, and those give you 200 as well. So that could speed it up, and the coffee breaks as well, but they're unreliable, and I'll explain why when you get to them. So yeah, you can only get these from those 3 sources, as well as completing the quest for Thoat. But by the time you get to Thoat, you will have defeated 4 bosses, so you'll have 800 fortunes anyway, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so for those not familiar with Infinite Archive, this area is actually base game. You can access this from the main map here, the like Tamriel full map, I suppose. This area here, Apocrypha, it is in this zone, which is a DLC zone in itself, but you can actually travel here without the DLC. This is a base game thing. So just go to any way shine, just travel here, and you'll be able to access it. So when you go through this door, this is the first thing that you spot. And so this is the very first fight that you'll get in here. So it starts off very easy. It's just a group of 3 enemies, 2 melee, 1 ranged. So what I like to do is I pull all the enemies to the same spot by sticking to the ranged enemy, and so when the melee enemies come to me, the ranged enemies like right next to me anyway. Because the ranged enemies will try and run away from you usually, but the melee enemies will stick to you like flies on shit. They're just better for convenience, because when you got these, as like a typical damage dealer, you'll have a lot of AoEs on the floor, and part of the strength of these AoEs is they hit everything around you while you're focusing on one thing. So it just means you're spending less time dealing damage to everything else. Put that back down there. So every 3rd wave in these stages, you will get a bigger enemy. Not always, but most of the time. Usually I like to focus all the little enemies because they tend to be more of a... I find them to be more dangerous than just like one big enemy, but some of them can be real pains in the arse. Like the crow wraith things, I find those to be really annoying until you kill them. Same with the iron atronachs, those can be really annoying too. Archival weaponry. So every time you complete a stage, a cycle, and an arc, you always get special buffs. So versus other one you get from stages, and these are temporary powerful buffs that gives you all sorts of things. So archival weaponry is an example of an offensive buff, so it increases the weapon damage of your weapon skills, which is really good most of the time. So it's kind of cool because it can sometimes change the way you think about fighting in here. Because for example, I might be better off at the moment using Force Shock, because this verse actually increases the damage of it. Same thing with using this as an AoE spam build too, because the explosion does way more damage than it normally does. So just some food for thought there. I could also use impulses as an AoE while this is being used, stuff like that. Just some things. And obviously Destruction Staff Ultimate 2, which is fucking good. Alright, so now that we get into the next room, it's literally the same thing, just some different enemies, basically. So you get 3 enemies, you get the ranged enemy on the other side, we'll go to him. We'll hit him with a force shock. We've got the ranged enemy over here, so we'll bring them to him. And we got the 3 big enemies. Oh, sorry, the wave 3 group with bigger enemy. Alright, so we'll go to this guy. And now I'll use destruction. I'll use the Wall of Elements spam. Oh, the unstable wall, man, it's such a good skill for AoE. Because it's both a damage over time effect when you leave it, and it's a spammable when you spam it. Like that. It's so good. Okay, next verse. Class embodiment. So it's the same thing, except it buffs class skills instead. So go on the other route this time. Yeah, these 2 verses are quite good. Been lucky this time. Sometimes you can get some verses that are fucking shit. That don't offer much at all. Okay. So every second stage, you'll get a boss now. So these are the cycles. So these are what normally give you your Archival Fortunes. So you need to complete 4 lots of this. Hold on, I'll put on... Yeah, I want Shadow Ultimate, because that'll do way more damage. How much does it do right now? Yeah, that is a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay. So put everything down. Use class strength to beat the shit out of this guy while he heavy attacks me because I'm not watching. Situational awareness. Yeah, watch out for the little fires coming from this guy. They do quite a bit of damage. And buff Nightblade execute. Really, really strong. Okay, so this is the monument chest that gives you your 200 fortunes. This is what you're trying to get. So you have to do that 4 times. Now, there's a couple of things to consider. We didn't see one here. I'll do another set and see if one pops up, because there's one other thing I also want to talk about. It's the coffee breaks. So every time you complete a stage and a cycle, I think after the first or second boss, the coffee breaks will start to pop up. And they're just random between some of the stages. And then you also get the pilferers, which are little scamps that run along this area here. And so while you're fighting the boss, the scamp will show up. You want to kill the scamp first. And then you get some fortunes from them too if you loot their body. So they're the 3 sources. They will give you 200. So if you're really lucky, you could only need to kill 2 bosses, because you get a coffee break and a pilferer. But it's unreliable. That's not going to happen every time. And it doesn't happen that often either. Especially with the coffee breaks, because those can get really tough because they get harder and harder each time you do them. Alright, so these are visions. These are like verses from before, except they are usually much weaker, but they last the whole thing, so they don't just last 1 round. Yeah, we'll just get increased healing done for survivability. Yeah, the other one was fun. So the coffee break will show up to the right of this door. I'll just put on my daggers again. Is that no-node? Yeah. Yeah, so same thing. Got some Dromothra this time. These are the... If anyone remembers me talking about the Void Creature issue the other day, these are the other creatures that should be Void creatures. Because they're literally from the Void. I suppose I should also mention... you can get plant creatures from Infinite Archive. You'll probably see some if you do this option. But again, I'd just recommend doing the other ones, because this one's slower. I got another Dromothra. If you see the word conduit on a Dromothra enemy, kill them first, because they're the ones who put the fucking big dark circle negate things on the floor. They're so annoying. Another one down. What do we got? Another class embodiment. We're getting really lucky at the moment. Okay, here we go. So this is a coffee break. So these are essentially mini games. Not always, but yeah, here's an example of a mini game. So basically, you've got to do things, and if you complete them successfully, you get your hands on some more fortunes. So this one here, you've got to locate a pair of books, the like little trying to remember what they're called, the tome things. All right, so basically you have a set amount of health. You can't heal. Oh, god damn it. You can't heal, so I'm kind of already screwed here. So if you go into your skill, it'll show you what these do. So this one shows you where to find. Oh no, it's not that one. Oh yeah, it's this one. So all seeing. So this shows you where to find what you're looking for. This one deals damage. So this is the one you use to kill them. This one makes you faster. This stuns enemies, I think. Yeah, so in latest versions of this, you get enemies that chase you, and I think that helps you stop them for a bit. I remember, isn't there one that makes you invulnerable to damage? I don't know, but yeah. So these two are the ones you'll use early on, because that one helps you find them, that one makes you quicker. So use option 2. So follow these little things here, and they will take you to what you're looking for. So we'll speed up here, just so we can avoid the tentacles. Yeah, so this is what we're looking for. So give the guy a wallop, and you're done. So that's a very easy one. So every time you complete them, from this point on, this thing will become more and more challenging. To the point in which the 5th stage of them is like brutal. You get like enemies following you, there's like more shit happening. Yeah, it's rough. So there's a lot of different mini games. They're all interesting. There's like there's one where you got to like basically herd wisps. There's one where you got to run around as a goat or a sheep, and you got to collect sweet rolls. And there's like butchers chasing you. There's like a cross the bridge one, like you got to hit the right combination of buttons. There's all sorts of stuff. It's all interesting, and they all get ridiculously hard after a while. So yeah, there's your extra fortunes. There's your verse. So this, oh god. So yeah, this will give you an extra verse to use the next stage. So if you get one of these for your boss, it's helpful, because if the boss is like annoying, it can make it easier. Yeah, world skills. If you're a werewolf, this is great. If you use scribe skills, it's pretty good. But other than that, I would not use this one, because there are not a lot of skills that are effective in world tree. Yeah, just transfusion's pretty good though. Alright, so now you just continue. Alright, so now we got a boss. Fucking activated that way too early. The Guardian of Pestilence, when he dies, he does a heap of damage, and yeah, it hits everything. So it's really good for the stages. It's not so great for bosses, because it's just like 1 bit of damage. I'm pretty sure if you don't kill those things, it becomes more difficult, but I can't remember. I know he becomes way more annoying when he's lower health. So yeah, I don't know if I saw one in the distance there, but yeah, there was no scamp this time again. So that's what I mean. You can get no scamps and just be fucked over, or you could get one and it could be much easier. But yeah, so you get the picture now. So you just get another one of these. Increase your fire damage by a bit. That's pretty good. Especially if you're a Dragon Knight, that'd be killer. But yeah, you get the picture. You just keep going. Either you'll get another coffee break and you just do that, and maybe you'll get 200, particularly if they're easy ones. Or you just go to the next boss and that's it. But as you can see, way more... takes way longer than just doing these ones here. Like, way fucking longer. Alright, so next up, I'll talk briefly, I suppose, about killing a player in Cyrodiil. This is probably going to be the longest, just on the basis that it's unreliable, right? Because with these 4, the things that you use to do them don't move. Players, though, they're way more unpredictable, they're way harder to deal with, they're way smarter. So I just find trying to avoid this one when you can is good. That being said, there is one saving grace to this, and that you don't have to kill the player, you just have to have participated in their death. So what that means is, all it takes is just for you to attack them once in like a recent time, when they have been killed, you will get like a small amount of AP, but it will count as killing a player still. Assists count as takedowns in the case of this endeavor. Okay, so what are the ways to kill players? Well, what are the reliable ways? There's not really any reliable ways, really, but I'm assuming people who can reliably kill in this game are probably not going to be watching this video, because they'll just be doing it themselves. But for those who are sort of not as, aren't really familiar with PvP in this game, my personal advice is just skip this one, because these ones here are just going to be easier, more reliable. There are some players that are so fucking hard to kill that it's not even worth the effort. You are probably better in that case hitting them once and then walking away, leaving the entirety of Cyrodiil and doing one of the other options, and you'll probably still do it quicker. But there is one thing to consider. Go to the action. For example, this outpost here, you could just go to it and help these players take this stuff. Or you could sit at one of these keeps, one of the ones in the front line. Just be like a scout. If you see any action happening, if you see enemy players rocking up, or if you hear anything, talk about it on zone, let people know. And that way, what will usually happen is, if the keep is being sieged, other players will come to the defense. You can assist them with the attack. Yeah, you could just give a couple of taps out with your destruction or resto staff while it's happening, or whatever weapon you have. And if they get the kill, you get the participation, you get the endeavor done. Or you can also use a siege weapon. So this 5-volt ballista here is something I would suggest you get. You use it, you shoot it out. If it hits someone, it does a lot of damage. In most cases, sometimes you get like ball groups that just heal through it like fucking crazy. But in most cases, you will put a dent in someone's health. And if they're getting chased by someone else, that's just like a really cheeky way to just help them and get an assist and get this one done. Now, as far as siege weapons go, if you have some gold on you, you can buy these things outright from siege vendors. There's always one of these in a keep, so you can just buy these outright. You can buy them in guild stores too for way cheaper. Just keep in mind that you only want to get the ballista of your faction. So if you get a packed ballista, you can't use it on a Dominion character, for example. So it's worth keeping that in mind. And yeah, that's like kind of they're the only real times I would bother doing this. Because yeah, sometimes it's just, you just have such a dry streak of just like not finding any players to kill that it's just not worth the effort. But what I personally like to do myself is just whenever your team takes a like one of the structures, like one of the forts, one of the outposts, go to it and just like wait and see if action comes. Let them know that action's coming, and usually players like to come to the defense for those sweet defensive ticks of AP. And yeah, usually that's a way, because you can, if you see an attack coming, call it out, set up some siege, like a ballista, or oils too. Oils, God, can't even speak. Oils are great for defense, because you buy them from guild traders or from quartermasters. They do require AP to buy from the quartermasters, but you set them up here when players are like trying to attack the door, and if it hits them, it fucking hurts, and you can get kills too that way. Like a couple of oils alone can kill players if they're not like quick enough to react to the damage by healing. Okay. Also, don't have low health when you come here. If you have 20,000 health in this place, you're gonna like. Good players just have to look at you and you die. Like, it's not enough health. So run like 30 or 35,000, even if it really hurts your damage. Like, get lots of healing and lots of health, at least. Because otherwise you just die so fucking fast. Like, players do so much damage in this place, it's crazy. But yeah, I could go out and try and kill a player, but it could be super unreliable. I'm not good, so it's like watching paint dry. And I just don't want to make this video any longer. It's already been quite a while. So, my luck to you if you can, if you want to do this one. But yeah, just do these ones personally. But yeah, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, as always, just give me a holler. But yeah, I think I've spoken enough. So, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'm all done with trade school now, so I'll have more time to do other stuff. I'm considering doing a. I should have spoken about this at the start, shouldn't I? I'm considering doing like a video on the weekend, just like a longer video where I do something. It's probably going to be ESO, but it could be something else. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, now that I have some time, I do want to do some more recording. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Take care for now. I'll see you next time.